exactly. So you kind of mentioned, and one of the things we think or would like to ask is, what do you think about next season going into new conference, and what do you think your prospects are?
Well, going into a new conference, going back into the SBC, which is a Cabarrus County conference. Mostly there. We've got a really tough non-conference schedule. We're going to play Marvin Ridge. We're going to play Mooresville, Davie County, who knocked us out of the playoffs last year. We're going to play them. We're going to play Carson High School, Hopewell High School. So we got a very good non-conference schedule set up before we ever get to the tough SBC. But excited about moving back down to 3A. I think that's where we fit in the best. I think that probably the worst thing about being in the conference that we've been in is the money that we've lost. Just typically, the schools in Charlotte just don't travel as well as what our county schools do, and we've averaged losing about $30,000 a year across the board in athletics. In the past 4 years. So you say 4 years, I mean, that's a lot of money that we've lost. Get back in the SBC where you got those more natural rivalries. We'll play a Northwest Cabarrus. That is a big rivalry. Of course, the Concord game will move to the end of the season, which is always a much bigger game at the end of the season. Robinson, who's really done a great job of getting better. Coach Glass has done a tremendous job with those guys. So we'll play some more natural rivalries. The county schools do a lot better. The students do a lot better of traveling to the game. So financially, we're going to get to a better spot where we've kind of missed out on. As far as play on the field, we got a good nucleus of kids coming back that played last year. Our offensive line should be very solid. We don't have great big guys, but we have very solid guys. 2 all-conference offensive linemen coming back from next year. Got to replace some skill guys on offense, but we feel real good about the skill goods that we got offensively. Defensively is where we got to do a lot of work. We lost some really good group of linebackers. Our core of linebackers really good, several DBs. We got back an all-conference DB in that group, and Aquarius Baldwin and some of the other guys that we got there. And our defensive line should be really strong, but some of those guys are going to have to flip over and play back and forth, which always seems to kind of hurt us towards the end of the season because we end up getting one guy injured, and it really takes 2 spots because that kid's playing both ways. So feel great about where we're at, and feel great. I thought we come out of spring football way ahead of where we were last year, and really looking forward to moving through our summer season and our off-season program and into next year.
You may not want to hear this, but we've projected you to win the SBC next year.
Thanks for putting it. Well, and that's something I've told the kids too. That's going to be a tough deal. Robinson probably gave us one of our closest games last year. We had to win in the last second catch. A really, really good, tough ball game, and they're hungry to beat us. And it's like I told our kids, we go from playing in a conference that we probably weren't highlighted on many people's schedules. We probably weren't highlighted, as here's the team we got to beat week in and week out. Vance, they probably had Mallard Creek highlighted. Mallard Creek probably had Vance highlighted. Huff probably had Mallard Creek and Vance highlighted. Nobody really probably had A.L. Brown highlighted as a game they got to win. And now the teams that we play, everybody's going to have us highlighted, and so we'll have a big target on our back. And you guys saying that is great to have that honor of being the projection, the preseason projection. But it does put that big target on our back. But
Sure.
We're used to having that in this conference.
Yeah, a lot of people. We used to say fear the K.
Yeah.
So that K does have a lot of impact. And I want to ask you a question. As far as rivalries are concerned, and Robinson, have they built up to become as near a bigger rivalry as Concord? Or?
No, nothing will ever be as big as Concord. I mean, that Concord game, when I first come here, we talked about the Butler Independence game and how big that game was. And we would have, 15,000 people in Memorial Stadium, and, it still looked half empty because that stadium sent 28,000. So, but it would be a bunch of people, but there's nothing like the Concord-Kannapolis rivalry. Now, I will say that Coach Glass has done a tremendous job with Robinson, and as far as their play on the field goes, they are the team that that we've got to work hard to beat them in Concord, and we play them back-to-back at the end of the season. So, and even Northwest Cabarrus is a team that I think that although their win-loss record didn't kind of looked very good last year. They're a team that's gotten a lot better. They got a great coach over there that's doing a good job of getting those kids ready to play, and they got a good looking group. So, you know, we're expecting our conference to be much tougher league than maybe what I think across the board than maybe what some people might project us being.
I know the top three we projected was Kannapolis, Robinson, and Concord. I think we had Northwest fourth. But
Yeah, you got Northwest, and then you got Central Bears will be in there, and you know they're replacing a coach, and Central will be good. You got Cox Mill, who Coach Stewart does a good job there with that group, and you never know about Cox Mill. They're in a growing part of our community in Cabarrus County, right there on the backside of the Concord Mills Mall. And that place is growing. They're building apartment complexes all over the place back there, and you never know what kind of move-ins you're going to get there when that place is growing as fast as what it is. You know, I would imagine the way that Cabarrus County is growing. You know, Hickory Ridge is going 4A this year.
Yep.
I would imagine that you might see this be a 4A conference in the future, where you know Robinson and us and Cox Mill and Hickory Ridge are all our own 4A conference. I would see that in the future. That's just the way Cabarrus County is growing. I mean, Charlotte is busting at the seams, and people are moving out to. Same thing I think Union County saw. I think it's just going to grow our way as well.
Gotcha.